Hi, everybody. Before I begin talking about week 4, I would like to talk a little bit about the observation survey. You guys asked terrific questions last week about the tasks of the observation survey. I hope that you've been able to administer all 5 tasks at this point. If you haven't, then I am assuming that you're going to be working on them again this week so that you are able to complete those tasks. So once they're completed and you have scored them, now what? Just like the spelling inventory. You administered it, you scored it, now what? Well, when you're looking at the data from the spelling inventories, what spelling stage did your student fall into? Was it consonants, short vowels, digraphs, blends, other vowels? You want to look for activities in those areas to do during your tutor sessions with your student, because you're going to be writing a lesson plan, and in your final paper you're going to be talking about this. The same way with letter identification. What letters could the student identify? What did you notice about letters the child was unable to identify or that they confused? How did the child identify those letters? Could they do it by letter name? Or did they do it by sound? Or did they tell you a word? Word reading. Is the child accumulating a core of sight words or high frequency words? Writing vocabulary. Was the child able to write correctly words from memory? What knowledge of print is evident in the child's writing? Was the child starting at the left and writing across the page? Were they writing in all capital letters? Were they just writing names? Could they only write words if you prompted them? Hearing and recording sounds and words. Where did the child start writing? Was the child writing left to right? What did the child do if they ran out of paper? Or when they were writing, did they have return sweep? Did they write across the page, go back over to the left and start the next line? Were there spaces between the letters and the words? Were they hearing beginning, ending, and middle sounds? Were they hearing sounds in sequence? Were they recording the sounds in sequence? Were they hearing any vowel sounds? Concepts about print. What did you learn from it? What does the child know about how print operates? Did the child know where to begin reading? Did the child know that the words carried the message? Those are all things that you can incorporate in your tutor sessions with your students. If you have questions, please ask me. Now, on to week 4, which this week we're talking about running records, and we're also going to talk about meaning, sentence structure, letter and sound cues. Clay calls those MSV, meaning, structure, and visual cues. Earlier in January, I had sent out, actually January 16th, I had sent out an email with several videos of how to take a running record, how to code it, how to analyze it. So if you haven't had a chance to review those or take an initial look, now would be the time to do that. They are great videos, and they are very clear in how you code a running record and how to analyze it. The analysis can be tricky. The meaning cues. The reader can use meaning from the picture and the text. Let me back up. When you are analyzing the running record, you analyze up to and including the error. So a good question to ask is, does the error make sense in the sentence? That would be a meaning, that the child is using meaning. Structure. Does this sound right? Can we say it that way in English? If we can, then it is a structural error. An error can be a meaning error and a structural error. Visual. Does the word look right? For example, it might be that the actual word is with. The child may say will. That would be a visual error. The words are visually similar. And the more you analyze running records, the more proficient you become with MSVs. It takes a long time to become proficient in the analysis of the running record. That's where the power of the running record is, because that's what guides your instruction. Reading assignments, Chapter 1, Chapter 2, and Chapter 5 in your observation survey by Clay. And there are other pages referred to in the PowerPoint presentations. If you have questions about running records, please ask. This is the form that we're going to be using. Notice again, it is blank. The words are not pre-printed on here. When you are in a classroom, you don't have time to print the text out for every passage that you're taking a running record on. And just remember, it is a learning process. The more you do it, the better you become. Discussion forum 4.1 is on running records. If you have any questions about running records, This is where you post them. For 2, using information in print. All readers need to find and use different kinds of information in print and combine the information which they find in print with what they carry in their heads to make sense of an author's message. You're also going to be taking this exercise. There is no grade taken. So don't worry about that. This is just an exercise. Using information in print 1 and 2. If you have questions about this, ask. And you're posting in the lab section this week. Talk about what you have done with your student, any questions you may have. What have you discovered so far? What phonics lessons or word study lessons have you tried? Week 7, you're going to be writing a lesson plan for a phonics or word study lesson specifically based on the assessment, one of the assessments that you have given. So please be thinking about that. If you have questions, please ask. Thank you.